Welcome to a very unusual CarGurus UK video. So normally, if it wasn't for COVID, we would be outside with a professional videographer and we would be doing some lovely driving shots and talking about a car that is available on the market and brand new. But we are in COVID, we are in lockdown, so business is not as usual at the moment. So while my twins, my 15-month-old twins, are enjoying a lovely lunch nap, I am enjoying some time with a vehicle that is very dear to me. I love my Land Rover Defender. I've had it since 2013, which could be the longest I've kept any car for. And clearly it's not my everyday driver. Before we start off with the pros and cons of a Land Rover Defender, we'll just go back in time slightly to 1948 when Land Rover first launched the Series 1. Huey 166 was the number plate of the very first Land Rover Series 1, and then it was Series 2, 2A, 3, etc. But the first Series 1, the Land Rover that the Defenders are all based on, was designed for agricultural use and light industrial use, and it was very good at what it did. It was excellent at going off-road, and over the years it picked up a real charm and people just fell in love with these vehicles. It was in production for almost 70 years, and the very last Land Rover rolled off the production line in 2016. Since then, of course, we have had a new Defender come out. Now, what do I love about my Defender? Well, before I tell you what I love about it, I think I might share with you what is flawed about it. I'm going to turn this on its head. There are no electric windows. The throttle pedal, brake pedal and clutch pedal are depressingly hard and difficult to push. The steering is quite vague, so you have to do some minor corrections just to get it to drive in a straight line. I've actually rallied a Land Rover Defender and I was driving at about 70 or 80 miles an hour through a forest and doing this on the steering wheel just to get it to continue in a straight line. There's no ISOFIX, which means I cannot transport the twins in it at the moment until they get a little bit older. It's got no air conditioning. However, you can open some flaps at the front and let a load of fresh air in, which is very good. Bits can fall off it. I went to Wales to enjoy the beautiful countryside with a group of other four-wheel drive enthusiasts, and I said, my windscreen wiper fell off on the way up, not the blade, the entire wiper. And the guide said, oh, you must have a Land Rover Defender. That said, my vehicle is over 20 years old and it fared one of the best, if not the best in my opinion, and nothing on it broke down. So bits may fall off, but actually it's quite mechanically it's quite mechanically robust. It's quite simple. So a final bad bit about it is leaking. So you might get some oil leaks, you might get some water leaks. And when I say oil leaks, it could be engine, it could be diff, it could be gearbox. And you could also get some leaking rainwater coming in depending on how heavy the rain is and how badly your doors fit or how bad the door seals are. However, despite all of those negatives, you could say, the Defender is such a loved vehicle. Oh my goodness. And when you drive it, you just can't help but smile. It absolutely puts a smile on my face. And when you see another Defender owner, they acknowledge you. Hello, other Defender owner. And there's no judgment as to how old or how new your Defender is either. So I've got a TDI Defender, which is a very basic agricultural engine. Starts really easily, turn the key on, it's fantastic, it doesn't need to think about it. And then after that you've got the TD5 and then you've got the Puma. So the Puma was the last one. It's got the Ford Transit engine in it, and it doesn't matter whether you're in a Puma, a TD5 or a TDI, we all wave at each other. It's absolutely brilliant. Such great camaraderie amongst Defender owners. And also the vehicle can go anywhere. So no matter what the weather conditions are and no matter what the terrain is, you can climb over it, drive over it when you're in your Defender. So I've done a little bit of mild off-roading in it because I love this car so much. I want to protect its bodywork and make sure that it stays in lovely condition. So I haven't done anything too crazy in it, but it is very, very good off-road. Extremely impressive, and if there's any flooding, we get some flooding on the local roads, I know I can just drive through the floods, no problem at all. It's got a really deep wading height, which is brilliant. So the fuel consumption is about 25 miles per gallon, which is okay for an older vehicle, and given the fact that it's in four-wheel drive all the time, you can switch it to diff lock, high range, low range, depending on the sort of driving and terrain and towing and that kind of thing that you are doing. Now, on the face of it, you might think it's not a very environmentally friendly car, even though it's green in colour. However, bear that thought one moment, because this car is 27 years old. So you could argue that it's had a chance to become carbon neutral, because the environmental impact that this car had when it was first produced was such a long time ago, and it's had many, many, many miles and years of use. In actual fact, it's quite low mileage for its year. It's only done 63,000 miles, which is very impressive, and I clearly don't drive it very much. Nonetheless, this is an old car, so in some ways it's environmentally conscious, because it was made such a long time ago, but it will not be allowed in the ultra low emission zones, and I will not be taking it into London. It's one of those cars that I just drive occasionally, and I drive it on the country roads and just enjoy it. It's completely different to anything else that I drive. It's that TDI engine and the way it feels as well, and it's, you know, it's bumpy and uncomfortable, and but who cares? It's got a certain charm about it, and I almost feel like I will never sell this car. I think other cars will come and go, but I do almost feel like I will never sell this car. Now I am going to summarise and say that owning a Defender is like being part of a greater community. It's got flaws, yes, but everybody in that community knows that it's got flaws and they love it anyway. And really, if you've ever owned one, you'll know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't owned one, I urge you to give it a go. Please do like and subscribe to the CarGurus UK YouTube channel. You will normally find reviews of new cars on the market, but we do have quite a selection of interesting videos. So like and subscribe, turn the bell icon on, and catch all of our latest videos.